Alright, here we have our mostly all original 1975 International pickup. It's the half ton, so they call it. Some people call it the 150, the 1100. But it's a half ton pickup, so it's 5 lug. It's last year made, so it's got power steering, power disc brakes. It's a 4-speed manual truck with the 345 V8. It's mostly an all original Survivor. It's had the passenger, besides it's had the passenger side fender replaced at some point. It looks like one off of a yellow one, so God knows what happened along the lines there. It looks like maybe somebody did a little bit of body work here and kind of got a spray paint that matched. And you get some little areas where people maybe like tried to touch it up with some spray paint. And in the right light you can see it's pretty different in around the wheel wells, but it's all solid stuff. It does have some rust in some places. The rear tailgate has been swapped out with a black one. You know, she's got some little dents in the bottom. This, you can see a little spray painting, but the driver's side is mostly all original paint. You know, you got some paint issue, that spray paint matching there. The paint's obviously worn away from the gas tank because it's a horrible design. But I actually run off the main tank that you fill up on the passenger side. But both work. So I'll go over this truck. This actually is a truck that can be, it runs awesome. And it drives great. This is a truck that can be driven right now, you know, any distance. If you want like a weekend warrior work truck, a truck to fix up, or just an old truck to drive around once in a while. You know, if you got long commutes, you know, I never really suggest a 40-year-old carbureted truck for, you know, 150 mile an hour commutes a day. But if you work like 30 miles away, 40 miles away, this is a daily driver truck. Tires have a ton of tread. It's been well maintained. Tires really almost look new. They still got that pink on here. You know, I've had this truck around for a while. Kind of used as my shop truck. Made a dump run in it. I went to some auto swap meets and got some parts. It does have some rust here and there, so I'm gonna go over that. I can't go over every nick and scratch on this thing because, you know, it is getting up there in age. But it does have some rust, unfortunately, right up here, and it doesn't leak inside. It's on both sides. And I don't always keep this truck stored inside, but it doesn't actually leak in yet. Front window does have a chip, but no cracks. A little bit of rust here. Looks like some people put some rust type killer on there, but I can't go over every nick or scratch. The grill is in really nice shape. The valance is nice. The bumper's nice, driver quality. It's original. Chrome still looks good, but you got some little surface rust, and looks like it's a little tighter to the passenger side. But you know, you do have these stone chips, and you got the wear on the bed sides that I talk about. The biggest annoyance with this truck is I have 2 sets of keys, but for whatever reason, the mechanism inside is probably wore out. But also point out here, the door felts, you know, they're toast. Wing windows work good. But for whatever reason, this truck likes to lock itself. So I always keep the keys on me, but I will lock it, unlock it, and you'll see, as soon as I take the key out, it falls down. So watch, I'll close it, and it locks itself. So that's the biggest annoyance on this thing that you might want to get in there. It could be just replacing a nylon bushing. Interior's all original. You can see the decal, VIN number, all that cool stuff. Rockers are in nice shape. You do have a little bit of surface rust coming around here around the hinges. These international pickups have weird areas and the travel walls that rust out. Some of them are just completely random, some of them are expected. The lower fenders are expected. Weird random areas is like that, and there's just a spot in the bed. But you can see the cool VIN plate, you know, all original paint. Little surface rust down below here, but it's just from being used for 40 years. You know, seat's got some cracks, but for the age, you know, it's comfortable. Rubber mat's in nice shape. All the pads are still on the foot pedals. Someone cut out a stereo, you know. Gauge is all nice and clear. The only one that does work, from what I could tell, is the fuel gauge, and if any of them are going to work, that's the one I want. You click the cargo light on, it comes on, you know, but most of the part, everything works. It's pretty cool. You got the original steering wheel, you know, you got your wear. This is a great farm truck, shop truck type look. You know, if this was a 67 C10, it would be bringing a heck of a lot more money. But the paint, you know, you look in the rain gutters, it's really nice and clean. Top of the cab's really nice. So you could go a million different directions with this truck. Rear seal's really nice. You know, you do have some wear and stuff up here, but no big dents. I mean, this truck doesn't suffer from dents and being abused. You know, it's basically how you see it as 40 years of, you know, being driven. I mean, this truck has always been registered, always been on the road. Someone did the brakes not too long ago. So you got this rust down here on both sides. And this is kind of one of the expected areas of these international pickups, you know. And then one of the random weird spots is there. And this is kind of, for some reason, the international pickups do this too, so that's expected. You know, you got the chrome delaminating. Obviously, I mentioned before, passenger side fender doesn't look so hot. But this is a cool truck. It's a blast to drive, and it's something you don't see every day. It's something you don't see every month or maybe even a year. So it gets a lot of compliments and a lot of questions. You know, still got its original caps, you know, but it does got some wear and stuff like that. Tailgate opens really nicely, nice and easy. You know, obviously somebody went through and replaced this. So, you know, even though these are different color, you know, when I see stuff like this, I think it's cool. I can see that this truck has been cared for, maintained, and used, and somebody has wanted to keep that usability going in it. All the lights work. It's got its original mirrors, and nobody's ever hit anything and smashed a door in. So it's really a shame. It's too bad that this paint is like this and the passenger fender's that way, because otherwise this would be just a great, you know, I'd say just keep the original paint going like that. Again, the passenger door does the same thing. It falls down. So either make sure you always keep your keys or keep a fly window unlocked. I have been locked out, and it doesn't take a whole lot to get back in case you got you cracking, but the floor mat is in great shape. Another weird spot, little rust spot there, little spot there. So it's really up to the buyer, and you know, what you think you'd want to do with this. Full or restore it. You know, nice original candidates are always the best to start with. But to me, it's just a drive it, enjoy it, use it. You know, basically what it's been used for since '75. But the doors shut amazing. I mean, that's just a great sound on these things. There's lots of underside picks. So the hood part is here. I'm gonna have to go ahead and let you dangle here, because it is a two-handed deal. You know, you can see it's been maintained. It's not spotless by any stretch of the imagination. The dreaded gold box has been avoided. It's got electric choke carburetor that's really well tuned in. Fires right up. You don't ever touch the fuel pump or the gas pedal if it's got warmed up. So obviously somebody's replaced master cylinder at some point. Other than that, it's pretty original. It has a slight tick sometimes. You can see original dealer markings. Underside of hood's in nice shape. Dealer markings. No firewall rust, so that's good to see. Battery box is in good shape. But you know, I think this thing just needs to be driven. Has some oil changed throughout. You know, drive 3,000 miles, change the oil. But it does, you know, at low RPMs have a little bit of a tick. Has a little bit of an exhaust leak from the manifolds. But this is just a killer truck. It's rare, it's hard to find, and it's got a great kind of character look to it. You know, my dad's always called them cartoon trucks, because it kind of does look like it's smiling in the front, and it does have kind of that cloudy bubble type body shape to it, where it's got that kind of classic square look and body lines, but it's still got kind of a nice round look at the same time too. So alright, this is going to no reserve, so good luck. Alright, here we are in our cold start video of our '75 International pickup. I'm going to go ahead and grab a hold of the exhaust manifold so you can see it's just nice and cold. Truck always fires up nice and easy. It's a pretty well sorted truck. Go ahead and pop. E-brake works good. I usually just give her 2 pumps out of habit. Fires right up. Nice and clean. It's got really nice brand new, well, not brand new, but within the last year, dual exhaust Flowmasters. Got a little exhaust manifold leak, but you don't really notice it from the inside of the cab, but You know, it's a clean original truck, been well maintained. Brakes were done not too long ago. Disc brake truck, good brakes, good tires. So all right, we'll go do some pictures and let her get warmed up and show you how it drives down the road. All right, here at No Reserve, we have our 75 International pickup running. Warmed up now. You can see it's not shaking, no rough idle. Got a little exhaust leak, as mentioned before. But you can hear it sounds awesome. International motors have the best sound with Flowmaster exhaust. You can see the lights are working. It's burning clean. Also wanted to show you that the windows roll up and down nice and easy. Probably could use a little grease. Fly windows are good. They lock good too. You know, you got to have the nickel deal in there. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the road with this thing. All I gotta do is grab my dealer plate. It's got a safe magnet on the back. Put it up there so we're safe for the road. Show you this goes down. It does go down and up. You know, could use a little grease. A little glass cleaner actually goes a long ways. Locks nice and tight. You know, the odometer, go ahead and get belts. It's got belts for 3, so that's kind of nice. So the odometer says 72,565, but who knows? It's a 5-digit odometer. Could be 172, and that would be my guess by the wear of the floor mat and the pedals. I definitely probably wouldn't say 72 because you would think it'd look, you know, I guess if it wasn't sitting inside all the time, it could be 72. But I definitely wouldn't say 272 because a lot of these rubbers just get hammered. And overall, the wear and tear on the truck is actually pretty minimal. It just has aging from age and being in the weather. So it could be 72. I mean, who really knows? You know, your wipers. You got low and high, full luxury. A stereo. So you can find something, sounds good, like the gas gauge works, and the alternator light seems to be working. These two do not seem to be working at all, and never have. Cool thing, I don't know what the International did this, I've had a lot of scouts with this, but you got the hand throttle, kind of a crazy deal. Amazing, lighter still works. Ashtray's never been used, it's a little surface rusty, a little dirty from, you know, it's in 1975, but it's nice to see not a bunch of ashes and stuff in there. You know, again, I'll show you that works really nice. So you can plug in your iPod, get a CD player in here or something like that, plug in your cell phone. But another thing that makes me think it doesn't have a ton of miles is this here. You look at the shifter boots in really nice shape. This is in really nice shape. A lot of times this is just going to be completely silver. So I'm going to leave it up to you on what you think, if it's 72,000 or 172. But really it's kind of doesn't really matter in my opinion because the truck's condition is the truck's condition. You know, if you're working with a late model like a 2010, 2008, yeah, miles make a big difference. But on older vehicles, you buy in condition and condition only, really, in my opinion. So this thing drives great. I mean, I'm gonna take it on the highway. You know, it's a 4-speed. You don't use first gear a whole lot. It's a T19 4-speed, so it has the first gears are, you know, you could shift into first gears. You could have a non-synchro with T18 and you can't shift into first gear unless you're totally stopped. So we're gonna go about the roundabout there, shift into third. I mean, it's just a great driving truck. I mean, it's just killer. You know, the brakes are nice. You know, you have a little bit of a lifter tick. And it's something I believe, you know, you could throw some Hyperlube in or just drive the thing. I think the thing needs to be exercised. It's an older motor. You know, change the oils, and I'm sure if you drive it on a regular basis, I just don't drive it. And I'm not going to, you know, restore the thing. I think it's kind of just, the best place is where it's at right now. Just drive this thing and enjoy it, and just kind of enjoy the way it looks. But even if you were just to scuff it up and reshoot it this brown, or have a cheaper paint job done, like maybe Mako, I mean, they do really cheap. This truck would be a looker. can see it doesn't pull or anything. It brakes really nice and smooth. I mean, it's just a well-sorted old truck. And that's starting up in second. Into third. Into fourth. And that's it. Had a little rock shoot up from the tire. You get a little bit of wind noise from the seals around the doors, but you're always going to have a little bit of wind noise in this. I've had hundreds of Scouts, I've had quite a few travel alls, quite a few international pickups, a ton of C10s, a bunch of old Ford F-250s, F-100s. When you have the aerodynamics of a brick, you're going to get wind noise. You know, they didn't send these things through a wind tunnel back in the day, so it's only going to ever be as good as it's going to get, and actually it's pretty quiet in here. But you can see I'm doing like 60. Give her a little bit of juice. I mean, it's got some power to it, you know. It's a fun truck to drive. I mean, it's just easy power steering. I mean, it's like, you know, really, when people talk about one finger driving, you can definitely do one finger driving in this thing. The e-brake works. You know, a couple old truck you know, issues or annoyances is sometimes the speedometer. This is called a sweep speedometer, and like the Chevelles and a lot of other, you know, GM vehicles have those. And sometimes it gets a little dry in there, and it'll kind of bounce a little bit at low speeds. I'm gonna turn the heater off because I'm dying in here, but you can hear the heater motors nice and quiet. You only hear it really on high. But you can see the odometer works, but you'll get that little sound. But it's the speedometer arm kind of shimmying back and forth. You can see. Get out here in traffic. We're scooting. I'll let off the throttle now. But you know, you're not gonna win any races. It's got basically a Holley 2150 carb. It's a 2-barrel. I believe it's a 350 CFM. But it's just a nice truck. You know, it's fun to cruise around in. A great little project truck if you want to do little things on, but it's a driver as is. You know, it doesn't need a motor rebuild. The rear end's not howling. It doesn't have bad brakes from sitting. It doesn't have, you know, it's not rusted out floorboards and stuff. It's a truck that can be used and driven for years and years. Give it a little bit of gas there. And we're coming uphill, so you can feel that it's got good pull. The transmission, you know, the clutch feels good. It isn't grind or anything like that. So all right, this is doing a no reserve, so good.